Alright, so I'm going to make a video on how to mount the signs that we send you. We've come up with an easier way where it just takes one person and not two, like the current video that we have shown on the website. First, what you're going to want to do when you get a rolled up poster in the mail from us is you're going to want to unroll that poster and lay it flat underneath books on each end, like this, so that it flattens out and it's not rolling up on you when you go to mount the sign. Next, you're gonna want to get a spray bottle, okay? And with that spray bottle, you're gonna want to get some regular old dish soap, okay? You're gonna put a couple drops, maybe about that much. Then you're gonna turn it on the water and fill that sucker up. Okay, soap and water, that's the key to being able to mount this sign by yourself and have plenty of time to make adjustments or fix the sign after you've laid it down. All right, so soap and water. All right, the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna lay your board down and you're going to just spray it, get it a little wet, okay? You're gonna want a rag that you can use. Okay, this is my dirty rag. I have a dirty rag and I have a clean rag. The dirty one is to wipe this board off and get all the little particles off, all the dust, anything that's gonna show up underneath that sign once you've laid it down. Okay, so I get all the water off, dry it as good as I can, and then I'm gonna let it sit for 1 or 2 minutes. In order to let it dry, we don't wanna lay the sign down on the wet surface because then it'll get that paper backing wet and it'll make it difficult to peel off. You're also gonna wanna have a clean rag with you, okay? One of the soft microfiber rags. I fold it into a square. This is the towel or the rag I'm going to use to lay this sign down once it's ready. Okay, so I got a dirty rag to clean the board with, and I have a clean one that I want to keep free of any kind of debris that might scratch the surface of the sign once I'm laying it down. You're also going to need a razor blade that is sharp, that can cut through that paper backing pretty easily. And the best kind of tape to use is going to be this blue painter's tape or masking tape, so it doesn't stick too hard to the sign and it's not too hard to peel off, but it does stick good enough to hold that down when we need to do that. So I'm going to take the nicely overnight flattened out sign and I'm going to line it up on the board as straight as I can get it. Okay, so I just start with the top. Line it up at the top, and I come down here and check the bottom. Okay, so it looks like there's a little space left here at the bottom, so I'm just going to kind of adjust that, make it even with the top. All right, then I'm going to check each side. Is there any hangover here? Is there any hangover there? Okay, I'm going to adjust it to the right a little bit. Okay, when I think it's even, I just double check, make sure it's even. Okay, looks good. Little adjustment there. All right, I'm going to take my tape. I'm going to tear off a piece for this side. About that long is all you need. Without moving the sign, I'm going to try to cut it in half and put a piece of tape down. Tape it to the top and underneath. All right, I'm going to do the same thing with the other side. Tear off another piece of tape. And I'm going to just move the sign over a little, hanging off the table, okay? And I'm going to just eye it, try to get that centered with the other piece. All right, so I have my tape set down on each side. Even there, okay? And now we're ready to begin actually putting this sign down.
First, what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift one side of the sign up, and then I'm going to peel off half of it. Okay, so here I have it, I'm peeling it, and I just hold one corner down.
So I'm going to hold this corner down, and I'm going to start peeling slowly so that you don't wrinkle the sign up as you peel, all right?
And then I'm going to hold it there, and I'm going to peel back until it reaches my tape. So it's reached the tape on this side, it's reached the tape on this side, and now I'm going to cut as close as I can to the sticker to get this side of the backing off. Now you don't want to push too hard or it's going to leave a deep groove in your board, and sometimes that will show up in the finished product. So I'm going to push hard enough to get through the paper, but not so hard that I just cut too deep into the board. I'm going to peel that off, put it down.
Now it's going to be important that you don't just mount the sign. First, you're going to want to, because the back of that paper there had dirt, had debris on it, you're going to want to wipe this board one more time just with your hand to get all the debris that may have been transferred onto it from the paper backing. So I'm going to wipe this way. See, I can feel a little debris there. Okay. If you look, it picked up a little piece of something there. You just kind of look it over once. All right.
Your soapy water mixture, and you're going to spray lightly this side, about like that, and then you're going to spray a little more heavily this side. It's about all the water it takes. And then you're going to put your fingers in each side of it, and you're slowly going to roll it back to you. Okay. Now, in the other video, it shows that, you know, Todd needs help to do it, and it's fine if you want to use 2 people. I'm just hoping to show you the easy way to do it by yourself. And I actually think I find this easier than another person helping me. Okay?
So the sign is laid down. You see there's bubbles here all over the place. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my clean rag, okay?
And I'm just going to start from where the tape is. I'm going to rub straight down. And it kind of divides those bubbles. So there's some going this way, some going that way. And then I'm going to, at an angle to the side and down, I'm going to rub those bubbles out. Okay, and now I'm going to go to this half and do the same thing. Rub over to the side and down. You see these bubbles are slowly working their way to the end. Okay, now it's not laying down perfectly yet, and I'm not worried about that. What I'm going to do now is we're going to do the other side. So I'm going to take off the tape, and I'm just going to transfer it or move it to the other side that's already been laid down, like so. Flip the sign around, do the same thing here.
Okay, so now I've just put this tape on the side that's been laid down, see, from this side to this side, all right?
And then I'm going to flip this side up, and I'm going to start peeling. Now look,
See, it's gotten wet here, okay? Try to avoid that. It's not the end of the world if it happens, and I'm gonna show you how to get that residue off that is going to stick, okay? So I'm gonna begin peeling from one corner.
and begin peeling from one corner here. Just hold with your finger here so it doesn't rip through that tape. And begin peeling. Okay, now because it got wet, you see some of the paper stuck there, okay? Don't try to peel it right now. What you're gonna wanna do, just spray it. Just put a little soap and water on there, and then it will scrape right off very easily. Get that off, that part off. Just kind of look a little close, make sure there's nothing on the back, okay? Now make sure again, you're gonna wanna clean this side of the board again. See there's a piece of plastic right there, so that's gotta come off or it's gonna show up. So again, before you spray it, you wipe it off with your hand, get any chunks of plastic or dirt or hair. Sometimes my beard falls in there. If you ever see a hair trapped in there, it's probably my beard hair. Okay, so I've wiped it, and again, I'm gonna spray it. Okay, do the same thing, I'm gonna roll it down. Good, laying down, I'm gonna take the tape off of each side. Take my clean rag. I'm gonna do the same process here. Start in the middle, go down the middle, divide those bubbles, and I'm gonna start wiping down into the side, getting those bubbles out. Just making sure it's laying down pretty evenly, pretty flat. Okay, so it's down good enough. So now I'm going to work it from side to side, end to end, and I'm gonna make sure all the bubbles are out, all right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start in the middle at 1/2, and I'm gonna start with more pressure now, pushing down, rubbing this water out, and you'll see, you may not be able to see on the video, but water will come out these edges, and you're trying to get all the water out that you can, okay? And as you can see, there's this wrinkle here. I'm gonna be working that way so it gets out. There's a couple here, there's one there, okay? There's one there, and I'm just gonna slowly work that out. I'm gonna do the same thing here, and then I'm gonna go to the other side and do the same thing. So now what the soap and water allows me to do, if I've laid it down already and I see like there's something underneath, or there's like, it's just too wrinkled, not laying down flat, I can actually lift this up and I can readjust it because it comes right up with that soap and water, okay? So now I'm gonna go this angle. I've done this side, now I'm gonna do this corner. A little more pressure, working this bubble down at an angle to the end. Okay, now I'm just going to flip the sign and do the other side. All right, there's some bubbles here, middle, start working over the side. Okay, and then I'm going to just kind of give it a double over, and I'm going to angle it up a little bit. I see a couple bubbles right down here, and I have the sun kind of glaring, so it helps reveal those bubbles. So I'm gonna go down here and I'm just gonna wipe them out. So a couple over here. Okay, now I'm gonna set this sign, I'm gonna set it aside to dry for a little while. One, do not set it in the sun or an overly hot place, because what will happen is these edges will dry first and there's still water in here and it will get trapped in and you won't be able to rub it out and bubbles will form. One time I made a mistake of mounting a sign, put it in the sun to dry and it dried with bubbles all in it. So don't do that, just set it aside in a room temperature section of the room, not in a window where the sun's shining on it. You're gonna let it dry for about 30 to 45 minutes. And then after that's happened, you're gonna get up, you're gonna bring the sign, put it back on the table, and you're gonna do the exact same thing. You're gonna start rubbing each corner, and you're gonna have to press a little harder, and again, you'll see these, in these little grooves here, you'll see water bubbled up, and it'll be pushing out to the edge, and it'll squirt out the end, and that's just getting the rest of that water out of there, okay? So that is the single mount. That's how you do it by yourself. Hopefully this video is helpful and helps you to get your sign mounted and keep it looking good.